Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So yesterday I had put up a video about the John Lewis ad that's floating around now that's got people all upset because, the main character in it is a black kid, and apparently that's a problem because England is only 5% black. Now, I made the mistake of arguing with people in that comment section, and I saw a repeated phrase pop up over and over again about being replaced and the great replacement theory, which made me want to make this video today and kind of talk about how that theory is really stupid. Um, the thing about that theory, the part of it that is ridiculous, is that this is some sort of conspiracy to by a global cabal to replace ethnically European people in the Americas and the West and stuff like that. The theory doesn't make sense because of, honestly, you could blame racist white folks back in the day for why this theory doesn't make sense. Racist folks all around today still do it, but way back then, we still do it now, where people call it one drop rule, where if any part of your family, back however many generations wasn't white, they didn't consider you white. You were another class. That's where you get really shitty terms like mulatto and quadroon and weird stuff, because everybody wanted to put classes on how purely white you were. The thing why a conspiracy like that doesn't make sense is if you were just to completely take out immigration, lock down your borders completely, no one goes in, but no one goes out either. That's the important part. You're going to just completely lock down your country at this point. Now, I'll use America for this example. So, with this one drop rule in place, if you have any interracial couple that has a child, these people wouldn't consider that child white, even though one of their parents is white. Y'all are the ones who are making people replaced because one drop rule and things like that. I think a really good example in the political sphere is, take the 44th president of the United States, Obama. One of his parents was white and one of his parents was black. And they call him the first black president of the United States. But he's just as much white as he is black. Why would you consider him the first black president? Even without immigration, because you have people who fall in love with other people who aren't the same race, that's it. It's your own racist rules that are making you get replaced with stuff like that. I don't know what you expect to happen. The theory it loses ground just from that. Unless your plan is to instill some sort of governmental system that regulates who you can be in a relationship with on the grounds of ethnicity. But at that point, you're kind of self-reporting on yourself. It's not about immigration at that point that you're worried about. You don't want people to have interracial relationships. Why? Why are you concerned about who anybody else is in a relationship with? Now, when it comes to when people get really deep and weird into that sort of theory, they always get to that global cabal being, you get into like the Jewish question and things like that, which that's a ridiculous rabbit hole to go down. And it's just too weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. it's kind of one of those red flag things to me too, where if you hear somebody who, it's not like a rule of thumb type thing, but if you hear somebody who constantly brings up like the global elite and then they bring up Jewish people, they're usually not in the best mindset, or they've drinking some conspiracy Kool-Aid for too long that it's hard to pull people like that out. I'm not saying it's impossible to do that, but sometimes it's better to cut your losses if it's a friend of yours who's doing that. Just, it sucks, but you know, last 15, 20 years or so, there's conspiracy has kind of reached the forefront, and it's weird times. But at the end of the day, sum up the video. If you think you're being replaced, you're not. You're not. It's just the world, man. We all move around. We're all going to be in relationships with who we want to be. And if you didn't have an issue with someone being mixed race, if you saw someone mixed race and you immediately say that, oh, if you call them by one of their parents' ethnicities because you think for some reason a mixed race person has to be one, that's kind of on you, man. I don't know. But if you're a replacement head, so to speak, and you have your own thoughts on it and you think I'm wrong about it, by all means comment, let me know how you feel. There is no global conspiracy to replace white folk. You're fine. Everything's fine, don't worry.